party time, coverkillernation! That's right, yeah. Not party time because of the Super Bowl. I know, I'm not going to get off of that for a long time, and, well, gotta shave the old Kiesel beard. But no, party time because it's time for us to review the new Korpiklaani album, UKON WACKA, which is just released here on February the, well, it was last Friday. February the 4th, I'm sorry to say. No, I'm not sorry to say that whatsoever. And, of course, Korpiklaani is a Finnish folk metal band that originally started as a folk group. And they are a group that started back in the 1990s, as I said, as a folk group, and eventually evolved into the group Shaman, who eventually incorporated themselves into Korpiklaani and adopted a heavier style of music instead of the folky side musically, however, still retaining a lot of the folky aspects in their lyrics. A good way of putting this is old people's music with heavy metal guitars. Yeah. Now, the name Korpiklaani, of course, means forest clan, and they are able to employ their folk elements using other instruments such as accordions, woodwinds, violins, and other instruments that are relative to that particular region. And really, in heavy metal, how many times can you say that you are listening to heavy metal and there are accordions, there are violins, there are flutes, there are other woodwind instruments? Well, actually quite a lot. The funny thing is that a lot of people, this is a very, very widely held myth. There's a lot of people out there that feel that all heavy metal music is just a bunch of electric guitars, a bass guitar, and a drum, and that's about it. A lot of people don't even realize that there are keyboards and a lot of other different diverse musical instruments that are used in heavy metal music. And of course, most of the time whenever you can say that you have an accordion, you're dealing with folk metal. Either that or some sort of really, really strange avant-garde, but we're going to stick with the folk metal genre and the folk metal feel. Now, Korpiklaani has been putting out albums now throughout this entire decade. Their last one as Shaman came in 2001, and they immediately went to the Korpiklaani name in 2002, 2003, and they have released a number of albums ever since then. And the last album that incorporated an English title was Tales Along This Road, which was all the way back in, I believe it was 2005, so it's been a while. And now, the one thing I will say about Korpiklaani is that a lot of their lyrical themes have to do with partying, with drinking, with getting plastered, and doing something called yoiking, which is something that is relative to that particular region and relative to the folk, the culture that they sing about, or yoik about, as they like to say, on a lot of their songs. Now, if you don't believe that this band likes to talk about alcohol and talk about drinking, just look at some of their song titles throughout the years. Songs such as Happy Little Boozer, songs such as Metal Pints, songs such as Tequila, which is on UKON WACKA, and then there's another one also called Vodka. So this is definitely a band that is not afraid to put right in there what they love to talk about. They love to talk about drinking, partying, and have a good time, which is not unlike a lot of what today's modern rap likes to sing about in America. Here's a big difference. Korpiklaani has a lot of musical talent, and they utilize it on each and every song. Each and every song on most of their records is an instant gem, either that or is at least listenable, so you are completely devoid and absent of filler. Yeah, isn't that a big difference? If you really want a parallel to modern music, or music that maybe the everyman kind of knows, think of the Dropkick Murphys. The Dropkick Murphys are a band that's based out of Boston. Here in America, they do kind of a punky sort of feel to them, but there's a lot of Irish heritage in there. A lot of songs that incorporate drinking, drugs, booze, fighting, you know, that whole culture and everything like that. Think about Korpiklaani as the European Dropkick Murphys, where they love to talk about culture, they love to sing about culture, they love to sing about drinking and having a blast. Yeah, I might be taking this just a little too far. Now, once again, if you needed any more citing that this band loves to party, their 2009 album was entitled Kerkello, which is, translated into English, party. Yeah. So these guys know exactly what they want to do. And the one thing, like I said, there's, on each and every one of these albums, there's really no song that is very poorly constructed. All of these songs are kind of done in the same vein. There are some changes in tempo, changes in pace, everything such as that, which is something that is hopefully relevant in all music, however, is not always the case. There is a definite continuity throughout everything. However, all of these albums, I have to say, there's a little bit of a you-know-what-to-expect factor here. So once again, with UKON WACKA, or UKON WACKA, however you would like to say it, because I just bastardize everything that has to do with pronunciation. there's really a real business as usual tone to this with Korpiklaani. Now, each and every one of Korpiklaani's albums is very solid, so this is not necessarily a poor thing whatsoever. I do sometimes still see myself going back to Spirit of the Forest or Tales Along This Road a little bit more, and I think that's just because of personal preference, not necessarily due to one being superior than the others. However, this is definitely one of those bands where a lot of the times you know what you're getting into going in, and this, if UKON WACKA would happen to be your first Korpiklaani experience, it certainly will not be your last, because this is a very infectious form of folk metal. Now, a lot of times you listen to folk metal and you hear the very kind of clever instrumentalization that's going along with the lyrics that are most oftentimes in a different language that you don't understand, and you know, it's done in a very kind of, I don't know, a chanty style and everything of that variety. However, with Korpiklaani, they incorporate the atmosphere that they sing about. They make it a very celebratory environment in most of the songs that they're speaking about. And the one song that really comes to mind the most is actually their namesake song, which is Korpiklaani. Korpiklaani, like I said, means forest clan, and this song definitely makes you think of maybe not a forest clan going into war with their, you know, with their swords high, saying, you know, we are the Korpiklaani, we are the forest clan. It makes me think of something even more modern and stupid. It makes me think of the movie, oh gosh, Green Street Hooligans, where it's talking about the fan clubs of the English soccer clubs, where you could see them walking to the streets, getting in the fight, saying, "We are the Forest Clan, we are the Korpiklaani." UKON WACKA, like I said, once again, very business as usual. Got a lot of folky harmonies in here, but a lot of accordions. A lot of accordions being used and utilized in a very unique fashion. Let me tell you, it is always a unique atmosphere whenever you listen to a Korpiklaani disc. Definitely an album to pick up, one that you guys should definitely enjoy here in 2011. Now, if you guys don't like folk metal, if you stray away from folk metal because it just doesn't sound like that hard-edged, raw, black metal, death metal stuff that I love so much, give it a motherfucking chance and, you know, approach this with an open mind if this is not something that is typically in your palate, because this is something that's all about having a good time and enjoying yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously, ladies and gentlemen, especially when listening to Korpiklaani. This is one of those times where it's time for you just to crack open a beer. Just listen to some goddamn music. Get rowdy if you're with your friends. I don't know, fuck it. But yes, Korpiklaani's new album, UKON WACKA, is now available. It's in America, it should be released on the 14th of this month, just in time for Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, isn't that just sweet? But yes, guys, actually the 15th, I'm sorry. The release dates are on Tuesdays, I'm a moron. But definitely go out, pick it up. This is a great album. I would definitely highly recommend it to all of you guys in the Cover Killer Nation. Go listen to some old people music with heavy metal guitars. Rock the fuck on!